Okay, I'm Geodav, and in this video what we're going to do is, well, I said what we're going to do, I just clicked it away there, didn't I? Right, a quick look at Blender 2.75, exporting a free mesh or skeletal mesh that somebody was trying to use, put into Unreal Engine 4 and was having issues. So I said I'd have a look, show what to do, well, see what was the problem, told him, still having problems, so quick video. And while we're at it, we can have a quick look at the FBX exporter that's now, well, I say now, the somewhat up-to-date version in Blender 2.75. So now, a quick word before we go any further. You don't need that. I don't think I need that, but hey ho. Right, let's see, what do we need a quick look at? Scale, start, end. This is basically my basic Blender setup, which I've been using for quite a while now. It is on my video how I've set it up, and all I do is take those settings each time Blender updates. So pretty much if I want to try and show you, I'd have to go back to the video and have a look myself, but you can find it there. It's let's see if I can remember, line set at 16. You might want to change this to 10 due to Unreal Engine's transformation from power of 2 to decimal. But let's see, what else was there? No. There was something else, but I just cannot remember what it was. Anyway, if we look here, units, I have it set to none, and degrees, and I know people say use metric, and then I don't like scaling on export or import. Now you might wonder why. All I can say is, if you don't believe me, try it. Because I'm not saying you will have problems. I will not say that one way is better than the other. It's just that if I have everything scaled to what I require before going anywhere out of Blender, then that causes less problems later. Because depending on the version or how good your exporter is or importer is, this is not digging at the Blender guys or the Unreal Engine guys, it's a fact of life. Now, if all you're doing is static meshes, fine, however what you want. If you're doing skeletal meshes, it gets a little bit, yeah. And if you're doing skeletal meshes with animations, pardon me, trust me, I don't think it's going to be a good idea to have any form of scaling done on export or import. So, to go from there, what we're going to do is open recent, which is Twilight Sparkle Blend. Yep, okay, now this is, let me see, let me just check. Yeah. Now, if you actually pick up a mesh of this is quite interesting because, well, I say interesting for me because it's something I don't normally deal with, because normally when I'm doing content, I will do the content myself, I will do the rigging, the weighting. If I really have to, I will do animation as well, and all the bits and pieces you've seen me do over the years with Max, Blender and various versions of the Unreal Engine. Now, not everybody has that capability, not everybody has the time, and in some cases you'll find, auto renders here, go. Right, as I was saying, in cases people will either buy content, or in this case the person concerned has found this free My Little Pony, I think. Is that My Little Pony? I haven't got a clue, but looks like that sort of thing. Now, this might work fine with Blender to do animations and everything else, but the problem you're going to have with content like this is that when you export it to Unreal Engine, it's going to go whack whack oops and go, no, I'm not playing, I'm not interested. Now I could do this right now and show you. Go on then. Right, let's just, no, I want that one selected. Select, and let's just go to export. Pardon me. It's been a long warm week. Now, as you can see here, I've already done this, and what we'll do is we'll change that to 2, as you'll see in a minute. Now, if we go down to the export options, I'll show you what I have set. Now, scale is 1, okay? I'm using operator presets, not touched it. FBX but 7.4 binary. I've not got selected objects ticked, might be an idea. Experimental there. Apply modifiers, yes. Smoothing, something you're going to have to play with yourself. Okay, whether you want normals, face, edge, whatever works for you. Now don't forget, tangent space will only work with normals. If you go on face, edge, maybe they've changed that, but whatever. Like I say, I only got this version the other day and I've not done a great deal. But one thing you want to do on exporting to Unreal Engine is untick add leaf bones. You don't need them. Well, as far as I know, you do not need them. Okay? So apply modifiers, blah 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 blah, export. Now, due to the file concerned and due to all the stuff that's in there, and when I say stuff, I mean your extra rigs, your bones, your helpers, and all the rest of the stuff, it could take a while. And as you can see up here, it says keine Rückmeldung, which means it's not reporting back because it's busy. Now, depending on how long this takes, it'll depend on whether I actually continue this recording, because I'm fairly certain I was having issues with it. But, you can see up here, it says 1 of 140 bones. Now, to be honest, do you really need that many? Up to you. Well, obviously in Unreal Engine you can have lots and lots of bones, but as they keep on saying, it's not so much nowadays, well, as far as I can tell, not so much nowadays the amount of vertices or the amount of textures. It's now getting to a stage where the models are getting more and more complicated and lots and lots of bones, and every time a bone moves that has to be updated. So it's stuff along those lines. Right, now Unreal Engine, what I'm going to do is make a new folder, not called Tinkle, new folder. What? It was Twilight, wasn't it? probably spelled wrong, but you know, not that it matters. Let's just open that. Go import. Now it's number 2. This is what you get on import. I'm just going to leave it as it is, so use people can see what I've done. Now I've got no skeleton selected as none. That's because we want to create a new skeleton on import. So you might only have that, but I open that up. I'm just leaving all this as it is, not messing around with it. I've even left create physics asset. So let's just go, yeah, failed to import, and why? Now a lot of people forget that when they get an import fail, you could have the output log on. If you haven't got that, I'll show you that in a minute. But you get a message log. Now here it says error, could not import TS mesh cage wings. Why? Don't know. Duplicated bone name found. This is now telling you what the duplicated bone is. DEF head. Each bone must have a unique name. Correct. And it found multiple roots. Now, when dealing with skeletal meshes from any 3D program into Unreal Engine, it has to have a single root bone. Okay, so what we're going to do is get rid of that, go back in here and say, where are my issues? Well, initially, all I done here was, oh look, tail physics. Do we need that? Well, hang on a minute. What's this? TS rig physics, and it's got bone groups and it's got def head. You see that? Def hips. Now, if we go back up here, right, because there we go. Bone groups. Now there is somewhere in here when I can find it, because I can never can. See, def chest, def constraints. I mean, it's quite a complicated rig, but probably way too complicated for me. And it goes all the way through there and lots of stuff. Now, the reason why Unreal Engine's having a fit with it is because you've got that and you've got this, which is not good. So what I did is delete, now why is that not working? Select, do it that way, and anything that had physics on it I deleted. Now, what was it? Mesh cage wing, that's the one that was having an issue, but I think we should be okay to go there. So I'm now going to go export FBX, make this one a 3, and export. Takes a while. Now, one thing I advise you do every time you go to export any FBX file from Blender is double check your settings. Reason for this? Well, during a single session like what we have here, it's probably okay. But if you close Blender down and let's say you go into Unreal Engine, because you're limited a little bit on memory, or your computer's like mine, not the newest, so it struggles at times. So yeah, close it and then do say like half an hour in engine or an hour, and then you think, oh yeah, I'm going to have to tweak this or tweak that. So you start Blender up again. You go to export and you just go click, 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 and you've forgotten that in here it'll automatically go add the leaf bones, do this, do that, and it'll be a case of no. And you go to try and re-import. You re-import into the editor might go okay, but then you'll have the extra stuff in there that you didn't want in the first place. Okay, let's see this again. Import a skeletal mesh. Blah 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 blah. Importing FBX mesh. Ooh. Ooh, ooh. Mr. Peebly. Yes. Now, what the actual fault was, I cannot say. I would not personally. While that's doing that, let's have another quick bimble in Blender. I shouldn't really do that, but let's just stay here and I'll just burble at you. Now, what's going to happen here is, oh, there we go. Compiling 6,000 million shaders. Yeah, okay. But you'll see in the output log, now I forgot to show you how to get that. You might not have that. So you'll get your message log here and you'll say missing bind poses, yeah. No UV sets, yeah, it's, it'll just bung a set on there, but there's no errors. Okay, now, if you haven't got an output log, go up to Window and where was it? Yeah, I just hate it when they move things around. Because there we go. Developer tools, output log. Ding. There we go. I use that a lot nowadays. So now let's go have a look at Sparkle, Twilight Sparkle 3. And there you can see the wings. Maybe not such a good idea. Now you've got quite a few materials in there to play with, but it gets you going, doesn't it? It gives you something to play, and you can go to animations. Now, it did not. Why did? When I tried this yesterday, I actually got some animations to come in, which were absolutely useless. But hey ho, it had some. So there's some animation tracks somewhere, which it didn't bother with this time. So might have been my fault. But anyway, now what we're going to do before I forget, because in here approximate size is 412, 5, blah blah blah, 408. So let's just save that out, close it, save all, because I did say save on that, but it didn't do anything. Now we've got an extremely large Sparkle, My Little Pony Sparkle. Now, as you can see, I did not do any form of scaling at all. So this may be something between the new version of Blender and 4.8.1, if I remember rightly. Yeah, about Unreal Editor. Yeah, there we go. It says 4.8, but I have, yeah, there we go, 4.81. So that's okay. The size, like I said, came up as 400 and something in the editor. And if we go here, create, let's go create a box. Yeah, because that was on. Now, funny enough, my box has got the dimensions of 2. Now, if I scale that to Blender 2, and put that in a location as said 2, 0, 0, and my little pony's pretty much stuck in there. Yep, fine. Happy with that. Now, this could well be my fault on the scaling side. You're going to have to double check it yourself, because I'm not going to record this video again for it. I will this evening, as always, control A, rotation and scale. Yeah, fine. So scales back and dimensions are 4. So I'm not too sure what's happened there. I'm going to have to do some other testing. This is something you should always do before you go whole hog in from Blender to Unreal Engine 4, is every time you update Blender or Unreal Engine 4, double check your content, because otherwise you go wait, get everything done, animate, rigged, animated, get it into the engine, and it's either 10 times too small or 10 times too big, or anywhere in between, and you have to go through the whole procedure again and again and again until you get it all right. So it's moving goalposts. It's not funny. I wish they'd get it everything standardized. Like I say, I don't know which end it is, but that's somewhat strange. I'm going to have to try that with my other content. Anyway, it's in, it works. Like I say, I think the main issue was the simple fact, in this case, we had the physics rig, which was controlling it. As you can see here, the hair, the fringe, the mane and the tail are not included, which was part of the other rig. So you'll have to deal with that and make plans, like I mentioned on the thread, to actually include those bits into the normal rig. Okay, so anyway, that's a quick look. A few issues we seem to have there. I may do another update using a standard, well, one of my standard skeletal meshes, static meshes, and we'll see how it goes and everything else. Okay, I'm just trying to now get my box, grab X. So it wasn't, I mean, looking at it, wasn't even aligned correctly, but hey ho, might work. But yes, I'm moving things about. I'm going to have to import some of my other content, or it might have been the fact that when I opened this file, it loaded because I went straight onto loading. So let's just have a reload startup file. Yeah, fine. Open. See, load UI. I wish they wouldn't do that, but hey ho. No, that looks pretty much the same. because when I say load UI, it's my stuff, my setup thing. When we clip in and everything else. Quick check, options. No, I don't want pose mode, object mode. There we go. Create a cube. Bring that up a touch. Yeah. Okay, so that looks like we have default settings. 1 to be 1 square on the grid. That seemed to export fine. So that would make that about 4 high, which was correct. So more testing. Okay, I hope that helps any of yous out there, and no doubt I'll see you in the near future.